My beautiful people, still on this saga of Daddy Freeze and somebody wife. Hey, hey, no be small thing, oh. Like this, so Yeye Kudi don't come out, oh, don't come put am woto for him body, say he is guilty as charged. Guys, make I no talk too much, make I allow una make una hear from our very own guest as she take put am for Daddy Freeze body woto, take analyze am as the matter take be. But before then, make una no forget, I still remember una humble girl Kiss. Na me dey bring una latest and latest ogbonge tori. If you never subscribe to this channel, abeg subscribe, click on notification bell so that they go notify you anytime we drop tori like this. Guys, let's go there.
You were fined of benching another man's wife, because as at the time you did it, there was not yet a decree, an absolute decree, the dissolution of that marriage. So you are an adulterer, Daddy Freeze. And the simple truth is you should have just paid. That man doesn't really need that money, because in this testimony of your wife now of Taste Bud, she said it. Money was not their problem, meaning the guy is richer than Daddy Freeze. When they were together, she traveled the world with her children, but she was in tears. She was always sad. Everybody else was happy. She was sad. What is the reason? Because the guy is a straight guy. And those were the things she looked into and thought to herself she was going to dissolve the marriage. She initiated it. The man kept on begging. That is all. If you say all this in the court of law, explain all these things that you came to tell us, and they still find it that they find Daddy Freeze of committing adultery. Yes, he committed it in the end, because nothing can change the law. The law is constant and stable. It can never be changed. It is always same. It applies to everyone and meted upon everyone same way. Because it's Daddy Freeze, it doesn't apply differently. And that narrative that you said, because you are a woman, women are being treated this way. And Daddy Freeze too was shouting under this thing. And was saying, explain, did I do it with you? Daddy Freeze, put your mouth on the mic. You are at fault. Ejebi, under the law. Go and pay that 5 million. Take shame, pay him. Under the law, you both committed adultery. That's why that man warned you people. If this explanation made sense, you people will not be in the Supreme Court now. They are still going to uphold what was said in the lower courts. Go and write it down. If your lawyers are not being truthful with you people, they are just collecting your money. I can advise you, if your wife is encouraging you to continue like this, you people are embarrassing yourselves, and it is not good. It is not good. It is adultery. Mami Yeye, what do you mean straight guy? No, straight guy. Daddy Freeze said he is straight, but the guy is not straight. Sorry. Daddy Freeze was saying on the chat that tell people, because it's not, because Taste Bud was made us understand that our ex wasn't straight. You understand? Or he's not straight. That's the reason, one of the reasons why she left the guy. So Daddy Freeze was saying people are thinking he is the one that she was referring to, and he was saying there, please clear me, please clear me. It doesn't matter, Daddy Freeze, if you are straight or not. You committed adultery. Go and pay 5 million. Do you know the more you are wasting time now, they will add more to it. Or seek your bench warrant, and it may lead to otherwise for you. Do you know? Do you know that they can send àwọn tó máa ń wálé, àwọn wọlé bailiff? They can come to your house, everything worth 5 million. That your car, they will collect it. Do you know that your car, they can collect it from you? Or they will come to your house and come and take your flat screen. Ibi tó máa ń jókòó sí tó máa ń ṣe báyẹn, wá gbé chair, gbogbo nǹkan tó bá worth 5 million bẹ́ẹ̀. they will take it. It's a civil case, which is not a criminal case. But don't do too much. You are at fault. No explanation taste board will give. Okay. No explanation taste board can or will give that changes this narrative. So that will change this thing. And you know one thing I have noticed? I've noticed that we Nigerians, we are too sentimental. I have said it on this platform. I've told you people, when it comes to law, there's nothing like, she was ignorant in law. No. Always go to consultation. They will explain to you. A lot of times, it's kind of strange that people in Nigeria, I don't know, I doubt very much if lawyers in Nigeria or legal advisors lead advice otherwise. I doubt very much. Because if they advise, or they should be able to tell you that under the law, this is stated there. Then you know there's no need for this fight. You are just on an endless mission. You understand? It's a very, very straightforward case that shouldn't even linger on to this moment. By now, all what that the street should be saying is that, I love my wife so much. When the court was wasting time, they even fined me and I paid. You have to pay because it is a contract. As a matter of fact, some people are even speculating that the phrase is a speculation. That one, I don't know if it is true. It's now you women that should know your rights. That man that is Taste Boss X, he knows his right. You can hear. She said he employed the service of a son. So, he don't. In fact, that money, we all know he doesn't need that. Work of a show that the freeze pay and one more the law. Do you get me? They, of course, that 5 million. Since when they find him that 5 million, see, what 5 million can even do then? He can't do any of it now. To be very sincere. And the man, the son that is representing him will obviously be getting more than that 5 million. So you should know that it's not about the money. It's just about the law. I was told that Daddy Freeze's wife too was still in the picture as per, yeah, they were maybe separated, but not yet divorced too. So what applied to Daddy Freeze should also apply to Taste Board, assuming maybe Taste Board, Daddy Freeze's wife too, ex, too did the needful by suing Daddy Freeze. And they will tell Taste Board to pay that woman, Daddy Freeze's ex too. But maybe she doesn't know her right, or she doesn't have money to employ the service of a son that would cut the loophole in law and say, okay, we deal with Daddy Freeze for impregnating a married woman who is yet to divorce. That law applies to everybody. There is no selective anything in law. As long as it is for the man, it's also for the woman. There is no part in the law that says this is for the women. No. It is for all of us. Marriage under the Act is a serious business. It is a contract. So if it is true that the Freeze too was not yet divorced, the woman has a right to do the same thing to Taste Board. Taste Board will be fined to pay Daddy Freeze's ex. Yes. It doesn't matter if they are separated for 10 years or clinic, as long as they have not yet dissolved the marriage, it is still in play, it's still under the Act, so be it. There is no statute of limitation. No limitation. Statutory limitation. There isn't. It's just like when somebody rape you. You understand? Then you will now say because the person have raped you 20 years ago. They charge you to court. You will now say, my lord, since 20 years ago I did this thing, and we are now in 2020. I did it since 20 years ago. There's no limitation. No statutory limitation. As long as the marriage is still on, it is not yet dissolved, you both committed adultery. It is adultery. And who has a right to sue you is the man whom you committed adultery with his wife. His estranged wife. So, Daddy Freeze, you have to pay that money. There's no higher court that you go to. They are still going to uphold it. Most of the time, when you go to lower court, then you go to, maybe, I don't know, high court, then court of appeal, and you are now in Supreme Court, you should know that there's no new facts in what has been happening between the lower court and the Supreme. You should know that the lawyers that are representing you people, they are only taking you people's money. Don't waste your time. And the embarrassment should stop. You understand? The more you people are dragging it, the more the story. I don't know why Punch brought it out and you were shouting, Punch, oh, you are a terrible newspaper. I don't know what Punch wrote. I didn't read what Punch wrote. But if Punch have... Hello, Daddy Freeze is here, but someone is sitting in his seat. Can you rule that? No. Daddy Freeze smart. Oh, ti gbenu si mic. Daddy Freeze, oh, ya gbenu si mic. I just needed to, because I see a lot of, sentiments. No, there's no sentiment in this matter. You go explain, Taya. There's nothing the wife is saying that really I'm sincere here. Everything she's saying, it has nothing to do with law. It's just being sentimental. And sentiments holds no water. And, all these things to be sincere. How much is 5 million for Daddy Freeze? If you can sleep with somebody, estranged wife, and you even pregnant the person in the waiting period, they never dissolve her, Abba. You still became born. You have to pay. Oh my son, Daddy Freeze. Oh, the day is his preaching day. He may not speak on it today. No, Daddy Freeze, but why a divorce process exceed 11 years? It's only normal for the partners to move on. Fafa, you were not here from the beginning. Assuming you listened to my explanation from the beginning, I bet you will understand. Judiciary system in Nigeria, I repeat, we all know is very slow. Before you delve into legal marriage, legal anything, especially in Nigeria, you have to be ready for issues that may arise legally. That's why property law sometimes takes 20-something. And my father had land dispute, property disputes. He was on it for almost 20 years. In spite till now, we the children took over. It's like we inherited the dispute. So meaning that it's over 30-something years, we are talking about land property issue. That is how slow Nigeria is. Do we now say because of that, the law will not be in place for things that are happening? That's what is the problem of Nigeria. As a matter of truth, family law cases abroad take sometimes 5 years, even sometimes more, to be sincere. It takes, you have to even be separated for 2 years. Here, they have not heard your case, but they will first of all recommend mediation, no? 4 years after, there's a way we count it here before they can even think of dissolving the marriage, because sometimes in the course of all this delay, some people reconcile. That is the court's wish. That's why you see a lot of time women are the judges in family law cases, because many things are put into consideration. You don't find it easy to decree absolute. Yeah, many things are put into consideration, and of course the first thing in it is always the children's best interest. Look at her own case. She has 4 children in that marriage. Then look at it from the perspective. She said the man is begging. Those are things that the reason. Oh, my co-counsel is here. Shirley, you are just coming. And I even wanted to say, Shirley, can you call in? Shirley, can you call in and come and tell us about family law on Daddy Freeze's case in Nigeria? I have a lawyer here. Because most of the things I have said is regarding our law here. If you come to us for legal advice, this is what we have. And if you go to the court for cases like this is what will happen. It is not fast. It is not swift. It takes time. Then with Nigeria's judiciary system, it is slow. Absolutely slow. Shirley, please call in. That's a lawyer there. You understand? Let her come and explain to us. So, just Google one thing. Google adulterer in Google. Just Google it. Legal perspective. Let me read what it says here on my own phone. See it here. You see it's Google? It says the answer is regardless of whether, listen, the answer is regardless of whether the sexual encounter happened after separation or not. Regardless. That means it is not important. The answer is regardless of whether the sexual encounter happened after separation. Wait, Shirley is calling now. Shirley, please, hold on, okay? Let me just read something for people here. One moment, okay? Hold on, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, let me read this for you. The answer is regardless of whether the sexual encounter happened after separation or not. The parties are still married. Be listening, no? Accordingly, from a legal perspective, if either were to engage with a new partner, that is, if Tasteboard was to engage with Daddy Freeze sexually, prior to the grant of the decree absolute, this is classed as adultery. You see that? It's the same thing here. I needed to try and Google adult, here. Well, just shortly before I came online, look at the time, 16:56. But this morning, when I heard that talking, I wrote what I wrote based on here, our legal perspective here. You understand? And I know at least a little of under the act marriage in Nigeria. So I knew what I was saying. But now we have somebody that at least has Nigeria understanding. You understand? So let us hear from her. Hello, Shirley. How are you?
I'm fine, yeah. How are you and the children?
We are very well indeed. Thank you so much. How is the family?
Very well, thank you.
Okay.
Hello, everybody in the courtroom.
Thank you.
So the law sees adultery as a matrimonial wrong. I'm just explaining from the Matrimonial Causes Act 2020.
Hold on. Let me pause this. Washing machine so that you can explain to us Nigeria legal perspective of this and what is happening regarding Daddy Freeze and the wife and Tasteboard. Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay, so once you are married and your marriage is not legally, once you're married under the act in Nigeria and your marriage is not dissolved by any court of competent jurisdiction, okay? Whether your divorce is pending or whether you're still planning to go and get a divorce, the law sees you as married. And once in that union, and you have a child outside, with somebody else, it's like an adultery. It's like committing adultery whilst married. So that is how the law sees it. So, Daddy Freeze, I really don't know the details of his case with his wife taste board, or whatever the case may be. The law sees them. I don't know. I don't think they are married.
No, what happened is, Shirley, can I give you a facts background of the case? What happened is the wife spoke today, and she explained that she had to wait for like 12 years. Like she applied for, she went for divorce, and 2 years into it, that was when I think she now says seeing Daddy Freeze, and like the way she explained. However, she kept on waiting on the divorce. Meanwhile, the husband was also pleading to not to, you understand. But in the course of this waiting for an absolute decree, I think she got pregnant for Daddy Freeze and blah blah, and they were of course benching, and then the court, for this reason, the husband, the estranged husband, filed against Daddy Freeze for adultery. Are you getting me?
Yes.
So Daddy Freeze was then fined by the courts of competence, of course.
For having committed
Adultery, told him to pay that man 5 million. Then they refused. They refused that the Freeze refused and went to appeal it. Of course, a lower court, of course, decided that they definitely, I don't know how, here we go from circuit, from district to circuit, from circuit to high court, from high court to court of appeal, from high court, you understand? So I think right now they are in Supreme Court.
Okay.
Definitely they've upheld it from the lower courts for them to now be in Supreme Court. So now I think some papers or some people brought it out that I think it was Punch that brought it out that Daddy Freeze is an adulterer because of this story. So I seconded I don't know what Punch wrote, but I came out and said it is true. In marriage under the act, as long as they have not dissolved the marriage, anything you do, be it man or woman, if you go out there and there's an evidence to prove that you have actually committed that, which their own evidence is that she got pregnant with Daddy Freeze. Do you understand? So they then charged Daddy Freeze, awarded the man 5 million. So I'm asking, is this judicial wise, is this not what happens in Nigeria? Because that is what will happen here abroad.
It is what happens in Nigeria. And what most people should know is that, cases may differ, but the principle of the law is always a principle. It's just in application. That is how I see it. And even if, a man or a woman engages in a sexual relationship with someone while they are still, legally married, it is technically adultery. Even if your former partner does not live with you anymore, and you're no more emotionally or physically in the relationship, you can check the act.
Yes, it is still under the act. That's the thing. I understand what you are saying. But you see, sentiment here is this. The sentiment, our Nigeria people, and I always explain to them that, when things like this happen, the sentiment here is that because she said she's the one that initiated the divorce, because she said her husband isn't straight. In fact, she said the man doesn't even sleep with her in the room. You understand?
Yes.
He only calls her to the other room, just to impregnate her. And I'm saying, if you have explained all this in the court of law and they find it reasonable, they will not award Daddy Freeze
5 million.
5 million. They wouldn't. But they find in everything you have to say, it is not applicable to what is on ground, because you have a contract and you are binded under this law. That contract. And that is that you are both married until it is dissolved. Anything the two of you do outside that marriage is with an opposite sex, sexually, you understand, it is taken as adultery. Now, can I ask you, here in this country, because she said her husband is not straight, you understand? Do you get what I mean? In this country, if your husband or wife is not straight, they do not count it as adultery in this country. I don't know if that applies in Nigeria, because if you go out there and you are a woman and you are having something to do, your wife has evidence of you not being straight, you are having something to do with another woman, you are a woman, or your husband has, this against you, and you present it to the court of law. If you have evidences, is there any way this person will be charged for adultery as well? Because here in this country, it is not taken into consideration. When you are, as long as it's not an opposite sex, it is not applicable.
Yes.
So
you see,
yeah,
they have gone to, I'm sure they must have gone to the lower courts.
Yes.
And gone to the appellate court for them to think of going to the Supreme Court. If she had a watertight case, and law is evidence-based.
Yes, evidence-based, yes.
Time,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And she presented the evidence that had the issue, that the man wasn't straight. Perhaps they will have taken the marriage as null and void from the beginning. But for some reason, they must have found loopholes in her
submission. Do you know where I find loopholes as a person? I find loopholes because she birthed 4 kids for this man. 3 or 4.
Okay. So they're going to argue. So if she was gay, how come you had children by this man?
And also they spent 10 years, she said, together, plus 2 that they were separated. So 12 years. You see?
Okay. So she has also, defeated her own case by herself. So the Supreme Court will decide. Now it's just technicalities and principles of law they will start arguing about.
You understand? Because I sat down and helped her to look at it from the legal aspect. I said, your explanation, you said this man is straight. Yeah? In fact, stories have it that she said the man, because in her submission today, in her explanation today, I could only explain that, okay, 4 times he will call you, and how will he know that he's going to, when he's not God? He obviously cannot sleep with you 4 times in marriage, and you birthed 4 children. That is, of course. Then some people say she said it's 10 times. Some people say she said it's 11 times. Please, my dear sister, is that not the thing that, as a lawyer, most of the time, family law courts, if you will agree with me, they are mainly women that head that court. Because
women find it more interesting.
And also they are compassionate. They are compassionate. You understand? The woman will reason it. If I am the presiding judge over this case, I will reason it. That no, come on. Yes.
But they must have asked her questions.
Yes, they will ask her questions. And in every question they're asking her, they will be able to know that she's just angry. She wants to leave this relationship. Yes, she's probably going through battery. Yeah, it's possible. You understand? She's probably going through domestic violence. I bet it's possible. But, as a presiding judge, I will be able to listen to her explanation. And then, most time, all these judges are mothers themselves. They are married themselves. They will apply it to everyday life marriages. And know that there's exaggeration in this matter. Just to dissolve the marriage. They won't listen to you like that easily. Maybe that's what 1 or 2 of the reasons that prolong this case. Because are you getting me the law?
Yes. Because you see, They are going to ask her, since you knew he was gay, right? And you had one child with him. You didn't leave the relationship. You went ahead and had the second, the third, and the fourth. Come on, that defeats her case.
It defeats her case, exactly. Then another thing, the law.
She's not had one.
Yeah, assuming it's only one, reasonably, the judge might think, okay, this is making sense. In 10 years, yes, it's making sense. Now, she said, the man doesn't sleep with her in the room. Are you making sense? You know, men don't come out to talk too much. I'm not saying the man is straight, so men don't come out to talk too much. But when we are explaining things, we also you should think that everyone you are explaining to, we are also reasonable people. We are going to critically analyze it and apply it. We apply it. You understand? Now, she said the man only calls her into the room, then and all her life in that marriage is the children that take turns to sleep with her. This one will sleep on Monday, another one will sleep on Tuesday, another one will sleep on Wednesday, another one will sleep on Thursday. Come on. They will even her firstborn.
She willingly goes. And whenever he calls her into the room, she willingly goes.
Yes.
Knowing that he's gay.
Then did she present all these things to the court? You understand? And the court still finds it that, come on, they are still prolonging the issue. Adultery is one reason. Let me be sincere with you people. They will dissolve a marriage instanter.
Exactly. Or maybe if the man was married and concealed it from you, they'll grant you your decree listing.
Yes.
You know, instantly. But he knew he was gay. He sleeps with you today. Tomorrow he calls into the room. He does not force you. You go willingly.
He said only when he wants to give birth. So is the man God that he will know that the moment he does it, it's a straight bullet. So the moment he bench you like that, it will just hit the picking go that one go. So me, I counted it that she only had benching in the marriage 4 times. Only for people to tell me she said it's 10, 11 times. You see all those things, you see, sometimes the court...
That's what drove her to committing adultery. That's it.
Yeah, that what?
You have a watertight argument.
No, in fact, she said, no. You are missing that point here. She said during all this time in her marriage, she didn't know that the free self not know her.
Okay, well, when she gets to the appellate court, her argument, I still maintain, is not watertight. Whether she knew that the keys or what, and she just knew him. No,
they are going to uphold. They are still going to uphold the lower court's judgment. Take it or you leave it. I'm sincere that the priest will pay that money. Oh my son, I would have, if I were him, I won't drag it so long.
I won't drag it. I'll just try and settle out of court.
Yes, I will just pay to, because people that do not have understanding of the law, they will continue to say, that the tree that Yawore will commit adultery. Oh, Mama Benusi Mike, you go explain tire.
Exactly.
Sincerely.
You know how the law views a contract, right?
Yes, the contract. Yeah.
Under the law, between two people, two parties, when you default on the terms of that contract, okay, there are usually penalties, damages to be paid.
That's true.
Okay? So, they will ask you for proof, for evidence, and listen to your case. Now, her own case is that there's an evidence of a child.
Yes.
So, she's now looking for a defense. I hope our defense lawyers will come up with something. So
I hope so too.
He's paying 5 million. You pay 3
that 5 million, if I am that, if he has good lawyer, they will tell him to pay so that he is out of the picture. Because to be sincere, in fact, they are even enlightening his own ex too. Because if it was during the time he was also doing, and this lady takes, but the wife too was then still legally married to him, she can of course pull back the case of, she also deserves a fine from takes but to her, to Daddy Freeze's ex. Yes.
Of course.
There's no statutory limitation on rape and all stuff like this. I don't know
in Nigeria, there's statutory limitation to rape. It's 21 years, I think.
Okay, yes, okay, yeah, okay. I think no, there's none for us here.
Okay.
Yeah, to rape. Yeah. So
Okay.
in the area of marriage, inko.
The area of marriage, no. You see, the fact that you're separated from a man, and you're not under the act, and you're not legally separated, you're still married.
Okay. So in their own case, they are under the act now. Their own is Daddy Freeze. Are you hearing? Benusi Mike, please. So who is sitting on Daddy Freeze seat? Stand up. Let Daddy Freeze Benusi Mike, because if it's Daddy Freeze now in this thing, other people answer to you, go call them, make they come Benusi Mike. Daddy Freeze, just go and pay. There's no need to do any agidi kogon. No need for stubbornness. If you ask people that understand the law, which I bet you do, you just want to pull some kind of, stubbornness. Sincerely, you are at fault. Legally. Sincerely, if you come to us for legal advice, and I'm speaking to a lawyer here, in Nigeria, there are other lawyers there. You people should seek legal advice, consultation. Don't they do it in Nigeria, Shirley?
Of course they do. And I'm even surprised that their divorce took such a long time.
So
because I have a friend who's divorced. I have two friends, sorry. Their divorce didn't take up to 3 years.
3 years. Maybe because in the process of, I think her own case, depending on the state, some judiciary system is faster than some states. Maybe her own is in Port Harcourt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know in Lagos State, Ogun State,
yeah,
there's
her own is in Port Harcourt. It probably is slower because they have very, there's probably backlog. Do you understand? Now, she not yet divorced, but the tiring together. Please write English where I understand, though. I don't understand this thing you wrote, Neka. Tiring together. I beg, Shirley, waiting me that meaning of that thing where she writes.
No, I don't know what she wrote.
Okay.
But it shouldn't take up to 12. I don't know.
No, that 12 years. I think. I want to believe, at a point she obviously got pregnant and there would have been adjournments. I believe so. So that 12 years. In that 12 years, I think they don't get belly born for each other now. There would have been adjournment. There would have been all many things. Oh no, and in it they also, that the guy also sued Daddy Freeze for adultery too now. So, so the procedure, it was quite kind of long. And in everything she had to say today, I saw her bashing the ex. To me, yes, she was bashing the ex. I think they've already dissolved their marriage now. The problem now is the payment of money, which he must pay. Daddy Freeze has to pay.
He has to pay.
Oh, you must pay Daddy Freeze.
Neither spouse can marry in a judicial separation or separation.
Dora, I think she said the man purposely dragged the marriage. You can't purposely drag marriage. You can only be saying, I do not want the dissolution of this marriage, because she claimed the man was begging her. You understand? So you can... Yeah, she claimed the man was saying she should please not end this marriage. You understand? That of course he loved how she's putting the home together. And if you say this man is doing all this, I'm cool with the fact that she went for whom she loves. You understand? That is their own, cup of tea. But if they say the man is begging, and also the man during the time you were with him, money was not the problem. You people were living heaven on earth. They were traveling to Disney World, all over the globe. It goes to show that the man is a very responsible man. Do you understand? So where the battery then came in is what I don't know, because except I don't understand what battery is. Battery means when somebody beats you, or is that not what it means in Nigeria?
That's what it means now. Battery is assault and battery.
Okay, but she said the man calls her into the room. I don't know. So all that part we are not even any more interested. If the court have of course dissolved the marriage, but what I am saying here is that the loophole and the in this loophole, what the court have charged that the freeze for is a right. That man has only exercised his right. You both were in a contract. The contract is you were both married legally. Even if you are still waiting on the solution, an absolute decree, yeah, you were waiting on it. You are still married. You are an estranged wife. Any sexual, which can be proven in the courts, that shows that you are doing this thing outside, or the man too, that shows that you are doing it with an opposite sex, forget it. It is adultery.
Yes.